Hello everyone and welcome back to my The Young and Restless 24 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Victor Newman's crooked plan will be revealed. Jack Abbott and Jabot are going down, so let's talk about what's ahead in Genoa City. Summer Newman protesting when Daniel Romalotti Jr. suggests she's jealous. That's clearly commodity that suckers have picked up on as well when it comes to Summer's passions about Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman's relationship. Summer will play it cool and act like Daniel's way off base, but he'll still get the feeling that she's dealing with some covetousness over Kyle chancing love again. Over with Audra Charles, she'll remind Holden Novak that they've to keep their history under wraps. Audra will contend the last thing she needs after all this is for Nate Hastings to find out she has a history with Holden. That's when Nate will pop up and wonder what's going on. Nate catching Audra and Holden together, so they'll presumably mock they've just been getting better acquainted. Next, Victor will sit down with Michael Baldwin and Bandy enforcing the coming phase of his plan now that Ian Ward and Jordan are out of the picture. When Michael asks what plan Victor is pertaining to, Victor will clarify that he's talking about his scheme to go after Jack via Jabot. Michael may question if Victor really wants to go through with that after all the drama he's formerly endured. It'd be better for Victor to take it easy and just enjoy his family, especially since he's still recovering from surgery. Still, No Bone knows how to hold a grudge better than Victor, so he'll stand by his decision to seek vengeance on Jack through his company. Nikki Newman will be mealy once she gets updates on Victor's forthcoming move, so don't miss the fallout of his conduct. Victor will do whatever it takes to get vengeance, but Jack still has many tricks up his sleeve that could lead to bad news for his rival. Jack Abbott told Victoria Newman and Claire Grace Newman his true passions about Victor Newman's survival. It would be just like Victor to fake his own hijacking, knowing sharp well Jack would be indicted. What if there's a twist, however? What if Victor really does get abducted, but not by Jack? Keep reading and let's talk about the possibility. Victor and Ian Ward were both shot during an ambush at the ranch. Victor survived his firing and it was believed that Ian failed from his crack. Still, suckers know that Ian opened his eyes in the ambulance. It wasn't known what happened after that. It seems that the Newman family believes Ian is dead, giving them a false sense of security. After Victor got out of the sanitarium and returned home, he admitted to being in a lot of pain. Victor seems a lot further fatigued than usual, too. Jack did stop by to see if Nikki Newman was okay, but Victor was rude as usual. Latterly, Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott approached Victoria and Claire. As the Newman women expressed relief over Victor's survival, Jack made it enough brutal statement. Jack bluntly told Victoria and Claire that he rather enjoyed getting a taste of a Victor-free life. Jack saw the affrighted look on everyone's faces, but didn't apologize for his passions. That could come into play latterly on. Victor is getting a lot of counter-reaction over trying to control Claire's relationship. Victor also got a lecture from Nick Newman about Victor pushing Summer Newman to spend further time with Kyle Abbott. Jack indeed advised Victoria that she'd understand once Victor really starts snooping in Claire's life. Claire thinks she can fake manipulation because of her history with Jordan. Still, as the weeks go by, Claire could notice more intimidating and controlling jest from her forefather. With No Bone realizing Ian is alive, could Victor end up getting abducted? It would be easy to see the Newman family allowing that Victor is playing another mind game. It wouldn't be the first time Victor has done commodity like this, just to test his children's fidelity or to force someone's hand. Still, what if the police start suspecting Jack or indeed Claire? While they would be innocent, could Jack and Claire end up saving Victor from Ian's coming plan? Holden Novak to run into a familiar face. Meanwhile, Billy Abbott breaks some rules with Sally Spectra in Paris. Phyllis to lay down some boundaries. Indeed, though Daniel Romalotti Jr. has accepted the position, he might be bothered about his mama-esque coming preoccupation. It seems that Phyllis refuses to believe that Sally and Billy's trip will be romantic. So, it sounds like Phyllis is beginning to fixate on Billy, which means bad news for Sally. Of course, Phyllis might lay down boundaries with her own son. Phyllis might tell Daniel that her loves are off limits. After all, Daniel laid down that exact boundary with his mama not too long ago. Another possibility is that Phyllis loses her temper when Billy doesn't answer the phone. Holden will run into a familiar face in Genoa City. It seems this might be a romantic connection from Holden's history. Holden and Audra Charles didn't feel to fade each other, so what are some other possibilities? Maybe Lily Winters? Lily is long overdue for a fresh love story. It's also teased that Lily has a run heft with Damian King. It wouldn't be a good bone. As Lily and Devin Hamilton Winters both advise Nate Hastings about his half-family. Some further suggestions about Audra's retired history. Audra doesn't like to talk about her nonage, but did open up about her mama to Amy Lewis. Before that, Audra mentioned her alcoholic father to Nikki Newman. There have been drops about Audra's history as an artist. Flashback when Audra first came to City, her history with Noah Newman was brought up. Noah mentioned that making business deals came more important to Audra than his art or indeed their relationship. Details weren't explained at the time, but this does sound intriguing if it's brought up after all these times. So, that's another story bow to conceivably stay tuned for. Some major stunners as Genoa City heads into the weekend. Someone is suspicious, while another offers a friend a history assignment, and a character gets a shocking caller. What's set to unravel during Friday's show? Time to find out. Not exorbitantly surprising, but Daniel Romalotti will come suspicious of Phyllis Summers' alliance with Billy Abbott. After all, Billy and Phyllis have a history together, and it's not a great bone. Why is Phyllis so eager to get into business with her former nut again? Looks like Daniel will wonder what's behind his mama's provocation. Speaking of Philly's history, Chloe Fisher will give Sally Spectra a history assignment on Phyllis and Billy's love affair. After all, Phyllis was still married to Billy's family, Jack Abbott, when the two hooked up, and the entire relationship was libelous, but also veritably amorous. Alas, the two did break up in a veritably unattractive way. Still, Chloe may feel as if Sally should know just how hot and heavy her Swain and Phyllis formerly were. Incipiently, Nate Hastings will admit a shocking caller. It looks like Nate's surprise caller might be the real Damian King. After all, Nate tricked Holden into coming to his condo, so he could talk with Amy Lewis. The woman had a health dread that day, which is why he decided to pull this sneaky move. After Holden entered the condo, Amy walked down the way to hail her son, only to realize that the man standing before Nate was Aunt Damien. Will Holden explain why he's a pretender, and will the real Damien swing by to save his friend and fess up? Summer Newman and Kyle Abbott are in the hot seat when Harrison Abbott says how forward he's looking to his family night with his separated parents. Kyle's mama Diane Jenkins Abbott also has a surprise at the Abbott manse, which reminds the boy of Halloween, and he remembers when Kyle and Summer participated a clinch. Cleaner kiddies no way stop wanting their parents to reunite, but will Kyle throw the hammer down and bring up how he and Claire Newman are now in point? Or will Kyle suppose a clinch between co-parents is a happy idea? Whatever Kyle does, Summer could be inclined to wonder if she and Kyle have a future. Diane inserts herself into the triad, maybe because she doesn't like the closeness between Skyle that she's seeing. Or also again, it could have to do with the Abbott man's refresh she's pushing. Jack Abbott is on board with changing his niche, and Diane's asseveration could be about to throw a wrench into their harmony. Unless she incorporates feng shui. Meanwhile, back at the estate, Victor Newman is all for Kyle and Summer reuniting, as if he has a say in it. His son, Nick Newman, doesn't want Victor to push it, and we see old pressures resurfacing so soon after Victor's firing had everyone singing Kumbaya. Victoria Newman gets into the act and tells Victor to let Claire live her own life. You got that? Away, the real Damian Kane is at Nate Hastings' apartment when the half-family lemon drops. When Damien angrily tells Nate, "Don't call me bro," the look on Nate's face is priceless. Damien surmises that Nate is exploiting Amy Lewis' illness, but she spills that she's the one behind the facade. We prognosticate that Damien needs to reuse this data being thrown at him, and he may have a hard time accepting Nate and forgiving Amy after she prevaricated to him about his identity.